convection happens. Okay, that's basically
Yes.
how it happens. That's the logic behind it, if you like. Okay, so remember, convection has to do with actual movement. Okay, and for something to be able to move, there has to be a reason for it to move. And so that's some part of it being heated makes that part to expand, and that's what makes it to become less dense. Did you get that? Hello, Mason, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the idea is that when it floats upwards, then the one that's cooler will will occupy its space downwards. Okay, so that means at any point in time, some part of a liquid will be hotter than the other part. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the hotter part will move upwards while the cooler part will stay downwards. Okay. So that's just the key thing to remember for convection. So I want to go to the next one, which is radiation. So I'm skipping all these experiments technically, but you can see that um, I think I can talk about this. The the way your refrigerator works, right? You notice the cooling unit is placed at the top. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have the things that are on top seem to be cooler, okay, than the ones down. But then because we know that convection will happen, what are we assured of? The rest of the freezer will get, cool. But after a while, okay, it will take a while, but it will eventually get cold. So that's the refrigerator uses the principle of convection too. Okay, so um, when density of air increases, it basically moves down. That means when the air becomes heavier, it moves down. That means when it's cooler. Okay, so just remember density or the heaviness of air becomes more when the air is cooler. Okay, so it goes down. Something that's heavier would have the tendency to move downwards. Okay, so like I said, I'm skipping the experiments and focusing on the next bit. So remember, this is still the part that has to do with um, transfer of thermal energy. Okay, so can you see the next one we're about to discuss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's radiation. Okay, now remember this, conduction and convection must happen through what? A medium. Conduction and convection must happen through a medium. So if you don't have a medium is essentially either the solid or the liquid or the gas that is affected by that the transfer is happening in through. Okay. But when you don't have a medium and heat is still transferred, then you have radiation. Okay. So a very classical example of radiation is the sun. All right. So how does heat energy from the sun get to us here on the earth? Traveling through space. Okay. So remember that traveling through space to get to us here on earth. Remember that in space, the astronauts, they need oxygen, right? So technically, there's no air in space. Did
Mm-hmm.
you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we can come to that conclusion, then we can safely say that the heat from the sun doesn't need a medium to get to us. So essentially, the heat from the sun gets to the earth through what? Radiation. Did you get that now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's good. Any questions?
No.
Do you want to take down this note? I think I can wait. So, we were kind of slower back then because you are taking notes, and I don't have any problems with taking notes. And that's the reason why I was telling your mom that we might need two classes to cover what's left. And I think it's good that we even cover something today so that I know that tomorrow we're covering what's left. So do you want to take down the notes for this?
Okay.
All right. So you can see the picture there too. That it's showing you the differences between conduction, convection, and radiation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're done, please let me know.
Okay. I'm done.
Okay. All right. So let's see uh, what essentially happens for radiation. The source of thermal energy in radiation transmits energy in the form of waves. Okay, so these waves are known as infrared radiation, which is part of the EM electromagnetic spectrum. Um, this is just basically explaining what's happening. The energy of the waves transform into thermal energy of the receiving body. And radiation is the means, okay, like I said, by which energy reaches us from the sun. The sun's energy, okay, so if you want to take notes, I think you can start from this part where it says radiation is the means by which energy reaches us from the sun. Now, I don't think it's entirely out of place to take note of the first two lines, okay, which says that um, the source of thermal energy in radiation transmits energy in the form of waves. All right, so I'm just trying to see how we can minimize um, having to write down everything. So can you figure out what to write and what not to write?
Mm, yeah.
Can, can you? Okay.
Not
So the
really.
important things, right? The last four lines, very important. Or should I say the last um 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's just say the last four lines, okay? The first two lines, uh the first two lines and the last four lines.
So the source of thermal energy and
Yeah.
radiation and the sun's energy one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, did you also include radiation? Radiation is the means by which energy reaches us from the sun.
Yeah, that's
That's
one.
the
Yeah, yeah.
last, that's the last four. Are you done?
Mhm. I'm gonna
Okay.
wait. Wait, what do they mean at the speed of, wait, what's the full sentence?
Okay, so let me see. Um, so that bit is not complete. I think it's because of the format, probably the text spilled over. But what I see here is probably is possibly going to be at the speed of light.
Okay.
Yes, because that's the same way the light comes from the sun. So it's coming at the speed of light.
Uh, I'm
Okay,
done, I'm done, yeah.
you're done. Okay, good. All right. So all right. So I think that's okay. So these are just basically questions. Now, the rest of this slide is I'll just say I think it's some other material that is covered there. So I want to quickly look at the rest of it. So the next thing that we're supposed to cover here is controlling energy. You still have that um you still have that the you still have the picture on your device, right?
Yeah, I have the notes.
Okay, all right, no problem. So controlling energy, power and efficiency, paying for power. Okay. So this bit, right? Um, hmm, power and efficiency. I looked at it, right? But I said, let me see if you have an idea what um um that that bit may be referring to. So in the notes that you took in class, right? Right?
Mhm.
Do you have a recollection of what um was being talked about when you guys talked about controlling energy?
We looked at like how to reduce like paying for energy. For example, like using like what's that thing? Like the insulators in walls, like in the loft, so that heat
Okay,
doesn't escape and stuff like that.
okay, okay, okay. So okay. Hmm. Okay, I get, yeah, I think I get that now. Okay, so let's see. I think we can um basically look at that. Okay, so let me see. Um, yeah, I think this is fine. Okay. All right. So I have let me share my screen now. I think this one even covers a bit of what comes next. Um, let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So something similar to what you said back there, controlling and reducing energy consumption in an organization. Of course, there is always this basic thing that they say before you leave a room, okay, before you shut down for the day or before you leave a room, make sure you turn off the lights, right? Make sure you turn off the lights since nobody will be using it. That way you avoid waste, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So controlling and reducing energy consumption, it can be in an organization or it can be at a home. Important thing is that we are cutting down on um, the use of energy. Okay. So uh, uh, basically, what you are doing when you are controlling energy is not like, not as if it's like you're harnessing it into something else. Well, that's another idea around controlling energy. But this is the main thing that is the concept behind control of energy. Controlling and reducing energy consumption is a key part of environmental management, okay, in an organization, in a community, and all that. It reduces operating costs and reduces environmental impact and supports sustainability goals. So you must have heard of all of those SDGs that were created by the United Nations. So those are called sustainability goals. In other words, what should we make our goal, to make sure that the earth lasts as long as possible for us. Okay. So many people are proposing using solar and all that as opposed to um, um, machines that burn um, what do you call it? Fossil fuels. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So was there any mention made uh, on and what an energy audit is?
No, I'm not sure what that is. I think.
No. Okay. Okay. All right. We can skip that. That's fine. Okay. All right. So let's talk about efficiency. So what exactly is efficiency? Improving energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same tasks while reducing waste. Okay, so what are the advantages? Costs is, you can save costs and you lower the impact of on the environment. And of course, you can operate more sustainably for a longer period. Okay, so do you understand the concept here of energy efficiency?
Pardon?
Do you understand the concept of energy efficiency?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. At least it sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So let's just, I think this is referring to what you said back there, the ways where the strategies, the ways we can actually improve our energy efficiency. First off, lighting systems. Okay. Now, do you have an idea of what traditional bulbs are?
But wait, what are? I didn't hear what you said. Would you say bulbs?
Yes, traditional bulbs. Can you still see my
Oh,
screen?
I learned about it. Yeah, I learned about it, but yeah,
Okay.
you can do it.
Okay, so are you doing screenshots or taking notes? Which one are you doing? So that I
Mm.
know that
I want to
you
take
are taking
notes.
you are taking notes.
Yeah,
Okay. So have you taken notes of this
no,
energy
not yet. I
efficiency?
haven't finished it.
Okay. All right. So have you started taking notes so that I know if I'm waiting or I'm moving forward?
I'm taking notes. I've started.
Okay.
Yes. Energy to The tasks. One, use in I'm done.
Okay, good. All right. So these are the strategies that would help us to reduce energy consumption. Strategies to help us reduce energy consumption. So the first is lighting systems. Um, there are actually three there, but I'm sure you'll be able to relate to them. The first one that relates to lighting systems is to replace traditional bulbs with energy efficient LEDs. Okay, I think, let me see, liquid electronic displays. Those ones do not consume a lot of energy, but the lights, those lights are brighter, whereas the traditional energy bulbs consume a lot of energy, but they give off yellow light. Okay. So remember, anytime we talk about energy efficiency, what are we saying? Using the lowest amount of energy to produce a higher result, a better result. So that's the whole idea. So you know about LEDs, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can see that that's what they fit on cars, even cars these days, so that car batteries even last longer. So that's the whole idea. So I think you can write this down. Motion sensors and timers to turn off lights when not in use. Of course, if you cannot depend solely on human beings to do that. And then finally, maximize natural lighting wherever possible. So if you don't have a need for lights, don't turn them on. Simple.
Mm.
So let me know when you're done writing. Are you done?
No, I want some.
Okay, not yet.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. All right. So the next strategy, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Um, uh, Using programmable thermostats to optimize temperature settings and improving. Okay, this is the one you talked about, building insulation to reduce energy loss. Yes, you mentioned that. I remember you saying that. So that's the second strategy, has having to do with heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And that's the acronym for that, HVAC.
Mhm. I got it.
Okay, you done?
Yeah, let me write it.
Okay, all right. Okay, are you done?
I'm on the last one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Equipment. So this one, I think this one is the one I talked to that uses solar. So inverter type appliances, energy efficient or inverter type appliances um, are, are the way to go when it comes to saving energy. So I'm sure you are aware that electronic devices like your tablets and computers have power saving mode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all a part of um, promoting energy efficiency. Okay. So can I move on to the next?
Hold on, hold on.
Okay. Okay. My battery just showed me energy saver on. Okay. Windows is helping reduce power consumption. All right. Okay. I think we're almost done with the key strategies.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, good. All right. Of course, this is the one I talked to you about. I said telling people, right? I don't know if you have if it's like a training, but then when you tell people that anytime you're leaving a room, turn off the energy, turn off the lights rather. Anytime you're not using an electronic appliance, turn it off. So this is um this falls under awareness. So where you have promote employee awareness, employee could be replaced by whether it's um, humans, or students. Okay, so employee there is just like you can call it a placeholder. You can put in bracket after employee, students, teachers, people. You know, you are promoting that awareness among people. Generally, they should adopt rather energy saving habits. And you might need to post reminders for people to switch off unused equipment. And then finally, promote awareness campaigns about energy conservation. Okay, so we're not going to go through all of them. I think establishing energy policies is a little bit on the high side, but then of course, this is technically for an organization. We'll stop at using renewable energy sources. That's where solar comes into play. Okay, so when you're done with this, let me know. So we'll just go straight to that one as the last one. Using renewable energy sources. That's where solar comes to play. Can I move on now?
Pardon?
Can I move on to the next one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is the last one we're going to consider. Using renewable energy sources. And of course, the main source of renewable energy is the sun. Okay, so organizations or people in general can reduce their reliance on fossil fuels. Okay, fossil fuels are like petroleum. okay, uh, gasoline, diesel, all those ones that, whenever they get into an engine, they have to burn to be useful. Okay, they are called fossil fuels. Um, um, and they are not technically good for the environment. So just remember global warming and all that, you know. So global warming has a negative effect on the environment. So to avoid global warming, then you have to avoid using the fossil fuels that cause global warming. Okay. So that's one campaign why people use more of solar energy, and more countries are looking at using electric EVs. Okay, electric vehicles. I wanted to say electronic, but it's not electronic per se. It's electric vehicles, those ones that use batteries. You charge the batteries and the vehicles run on batteries. Those ones don't need fuel like gasoline.
Mm.
Okay. So let me know when you're done. I think we can stop here conveniently for today. Um, uh, we've been able to cover some good ground. Um, So hopefully tomorrow we'll just round up and do like a summary of all that we've learned, so that we're good to go for Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know when you're done writing. So are you done, Mason?
Yeah.
You didn't say so. All right. My
I
bad.
just think now.
Oh, all right. Okay. So I think um we can continue tomorrow. So it seems like 6 o'clock on weekdays is not really good for you, right?
I can do it tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see how we work around that. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.